Good afternoon. Welcome to our live stream. I've got 10 vocabulary words here for you based on the movie Amélie, the French movie Amélie. If you've not seen it, no worries. It's not that you need to have seen this film to be able to participate, but it is going to be a really great vocabulary builder. So if you're at around a strong B1, heading into B2, a solid B2, this is going to be a very, very good lesson for you because I've got 10 vocabulary words that you're not going to want to miss. These are words that you can use in your everyday life and not just talking about this movie. I'm Jen, as you can see, floating down at the bottom of my screen here. I am here on YouTube every week normally at about 4 o'clock. So I messed this up a bit. Usually at 4 p.m. and offer you a trivia lesson, quiz, something of that nature. Today, it's a vocabulary quiz. And tomorrow I will go live with the second half of the topic, Amelie. It's going to be a wonderful lesson. So again, if you've not seen the film, I design all of my lessons, no matter if they're about a specific film or topic or whatever, that you can follow along easily. No problem. So let's hop into our first question of the day. We already have some folks here. I can see that. It looks like Nick was here. I hope he comes back. Didn't get the memo that it was going to be later. Poor guy. So let me pop up my first question for today. Let me scoot over to here and offer us questions right here. So this is the first question. Hello, Yuki, sweetie. Hello, nice to have you here. Do you know the movie Amélie? Have you ever seen it? Hello to you. Is that my friend Abul Fazi? Abul Fazi, is that you or is that a different person? A different picture, but a name I can't read. Hello, Alessio. Welcome back. Saw you already today, this afternoon. Again, these questions or these vocabulary can somehow be related to the movie Amélie, but not only, so you don't need to have seen the film to be able to do well on this or to learn something. Let's say that. So which of the following is considered a quirky activity? Hi, Karina, sweetie. Nice to have you here. I know that movie, but I haven't seen it. Okay, but I definitely recommend it. It's very cute. I don't know if in Japan, if you have typically subtitles on foreign films or if they are dubbed. Yeah. Hi, Kaluna. Good day. Nice to see you. No worries. We're going to continue the topic for the rest of the week. Hello, Anu. Welcome. Nice to have everyone here. Fantastic. Okay, so we're learning vocabulary words. Some of these were in the live stream, and some that you are learning today will be in the live stream tomorrow. So I already see my first answer and I'm giggling because it's funny. So which of the following is considered a quirky? Quirky is our word, activity. So sorting your books by color, filing taxes early. Hello, Nick from Myanmar. You made it back. Awesome. Happy to have you here. Or C, taking the same walk every single day. So quirky. And if you would like to define the word, you're more than welcome to do that. I need to stop rotating in this chair. I'm not used to being in a chair that can move. And so I'm just like moving with it, but it's annoying. I think it might be annoying to watch at home. So sticking here, good posture. Here we go. Quirky. A, sorting, so organizing, sorting your books by color. B, filing taxes early. Or C, taking the same walk every day. The only scene I know is the one where they bang the creme brulee with a spoon. Yes, and that's a beautiful scene because she's talking about the things that she loves. And it's not like a designer bag or a first class ticket to Rome. She's talking about the little things, the things that really matter. And so our topic will be a lot kind of going into that tomorrow. It's a very nice live stream. Mohammed, you're just on time. We're on question number 1. How would you answer? Alessia is joking and saying, I would say B, which I would agree. Because, I'm filing my American taxes for the first time since 1996. So yeah. Anyway, but that's another story for another day. So, but the quirky here, let me give you a definition, because some of you were not in the live stream and maybe did not hear what the definition is of the word quirky. Quirky, a simple definition, is a little strange in a fun or interesting way. And people pointed out that, and this is a very good thing to point out, that quirky is kind of strange. It's weird, but it's more positive. If you say to someone that they're weird or they're strange, it can kind of be an insult. But quirky is kind of like you're different in kind of a nice way and something special. So, okay. Hey, Leah, darling. Okay. So far I have some C's going on, taking the same walk every day. All right. Okay. So the answer is actually sorting your books by color. So this is kind of a weird one, but if you do things that are sort of, different, you do things different. Like, let's say that your plants at home have a name, right? Like you name, that's Jill, that's Roger, that's Steve. If you name your plants, that's kind of quirky. Like, why would you do that? Some people name their car. That's kind of a quirky thing to do. It's cute. It's different. It's a little strange, but in sort of a nice, sort of special way. Something that I do that's a little quirky is that I love ribbons. Do I have any on my desk? I usually have ribbons somewhere. But when you wrap a present and you have a pretty bow on it, so I collect ribbons. If I see someone leave the ribbon and they don't want to take it from a present, I will just scoop it up, because I never get rid of ribbon. I reuse ribbon all the time. It's a little quirky. It's kind of strange. So maybe you can tell me if there's something quirky that you do. Do you have a name for your car? Do you something a little different? And if you can't think of anything right now and you would like to leave it in the comments later on, you're more than welcome to do so, just to practice your English. Because sometimes I find with these things, I know for myself, it's difficult to think of them just like that. So so you have the option of offering me something quirky that you do, or something quirky that you can think of later on. But otherwise, we will move on to our next vocab word. And let me remove this and pull up number 2. I can't believe I'm getting away with no magnifying glass. I don't know what's going on. Don't question it. I've probably jinxed it. So here we go. Number 2. All right. And these words are all words that either we had earlier today or we will have tomorrow. So I'm really trying to give you some good vocabulary words and that we can practice them and remember them. Very important for all of us. So which of the following is considered a subtle gesture? And I want to point out that the pronunciation of subtle, that B, we do not say it. Subtle, subtle. The B is totally silent. Don't need to say it. English is ridiculous, but yeah. So which of the following is considered a subtle gesture? Yelling someone's name from across the street, giving a small nod. A nod is when you shake your head. You can nod your head yes, nod your head no. Hello, Raphael, welcome. Already got some answers coming in, very cool. Or C, jumping up and waving both hands. So which one? We have a sea of B's. So yeah, so just giving a small nod and maybe a little smile. Exactly, that's subtle, right? So small and kind of hard to notice. Subtle. Some people can dress in a subtle way. You can have a subtle sort of, hello, Michaela, nice to have you here too. So subtle. small and hard to notice. So can you think of some other subtle gestures? I have a list of about 10 things that one can do. They're just small, sort of indiscreet things that you can do that is like a subtle gesture. So you can kind little smile, nod your head. What else can you tell me can be a subtle gesture? Obviously, waving your arms, like, that's me, but not so subtle, very obvious. Blink, okay. So maybe blink, it's a subtle gesture, or wink, a little bit more of a flirty gesture, maybe. Okay, so blink is when you do this with your eyes. What else can be a subtle gesture? And we can also think of things that are outside of just our face and body language. They can be a subtle action, if you would like. Giving a quick thumbs up. Yeah, little, hey, KB, nice to have you here. So a little quick, let's do it. I don't know. All right. Another idea is letting someone go in front of you in the line. So let's say, you see someone, you see a mom, she's got a child, and you're like, oh, please go ahead. That could be a subtle, kind gesture. Not a big thing, not making a huge way, like sort of to do about it. So wink, a gentle bow, raising of eyebrows. Okay. Yes. So I definitely need some more Botox because I can raise my eyebrows. All right. So let's see. We can leave a kind note for someone. That's a subtle gesture, a kind, subtle gesture. Mirroring body language to build connection. Nice. Very, very nice. Like that one a lot, Michaela. Giving a compliment in a soft tone. I like this one a lot too. Making eye contact and listening closely, like just listening, like really listening to what someone has to say, where they're going with their story, is a nice cuddle, kind and subtle cuddle, a nice kind and subtle gesture. All right, so subtle was our word. We've had quirky, and now we're moving on to another fun word. And all of these are sort of like related somehow to the movie, but as you see, you don't need to have seen the film to be able to follow along. No problem. All right, number 3, here we go. We have, which of the following feels the most whimsical? And I'll pronounce that a couple of times. It's not a word you hear every day, but it's a nice word. Like, I just want to share these words with you because even though it's not like something that you're going to necessarily use all the time, there are certain situations, there are certain things, certain moments that are just whimsical, and you should know that word. So yes, whimsical. A, only wearing workout gear. So you are the queen of Lululemon, running around in your athleisure. B, wearing a dark suit every day. Or C, painting stars on your ceiling. And KB, you've got a C for me. Painting stars on your ceiling. It's difficult to pronounce subtle for me. Exactly. Yes, exactly, Michaela. Thank you for bringing that up. The B is totally silent, but the T you do hear, subtle. So yeah, B silent, T definitely not silent. Anu's going with B as well, or is going with B. Wearing a dark business suit every day. Yuki's like, see? Yeah, okay. Let's get one more guess. If we can get another guest coming in, that would be great. And then I will offer you the answer. Got it. Thank you very much, Michaela, for asking. I'd said it earlier, maybe you came later, but it's definitely good to have a reminder because this is a word that gets mispronounced, understandably, all the time. So ask twice, better than not at all. So A with the thing. Okay, so wearing only workout wear. Okay, good. This seems like it's kind of a new word for people. That makes me happy. So the correct answer for whimsical is more like painting stars on your ceiling. And just to kind of give you an idea, because whimsical and quirky kind of go in the same direction. Whimsical is kind of creative and dreamy and playful, and quirky is sort of unique and weird in a fun way, to be able to sort of differentiate the two. That person's so whimsical. They just do the most, like, they're just full of fantasy, perhaps. But they do get used interchangeably. But yeah, I would kind of narrow them down like that. All right, let's see. Moving on to another one, because Amelie was this as well in the film. The character Amelie was most definitely this. And we will, and again, like I said, these vocabulary words, if you come to our live stream tomorrow, they will haunt you tomorrow too. So you're not going to be able to escape them. You'll have to hear them again, which will be good, right? Okay, let's see this. So which of the following behaviors fits someone who is reserved? A, talks loudly at every gathering. B, stays quiet and listens more than they speak. Or C, tells jokes to strangers on the bus. If someone is reserved, which one of these things, which makes the most sense? What can you tell me? If someone is reserved. So Raphael's going with B. All right. Karina's going with B. Do we have any other Bs? Is everyone going to go with B? What can you tell me? Your background. Yes, it is. I have the painting is gone. I have it in the other room. We're playing right now. It's kind of boring, right, Yuki? I need to find something to go back there. I don't know. I need something colorful, something nice. Yeah. So B. So everyone's going with B. And let's see. So stays quiet and listens more than they speak. So reserved is quiet and doesn't show emotions easily. Now, sometimes, like, there are cultures that are more reserved than others. Americans are definitely not reserved. We talk, we overshare, we say a lot, we say what's on our mind. And in some cultures, it's more sort of like, I don't know, not boring. Oh, okay. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah, so in some cultures, it's better to be reserved. It's more polite. And other cultures, it's not so much. But my question to you is, in what situations might a reserved person feel uncomfortable? So what can you tell me? If a person is reserved, what are some situations where they might feel slightly uncomfortable? Can you think of anything? And I wanted to also point out the difference between shy and reserved. Shy versus reserved. In social gatherings, exactly, KB, absolutely. In social gatherings, and I will pull up this in a minute, social gatherings as well, okay? Maybe being new somewhere, just you're the new person. Maybe being in a crowded place like bars, such as parties, weddings. Background is not so important. You're, oh, that's sweet. Thank you. I would like the background to be nice too, though. But thank you. That's a very kind thing to say. Thank you, Nick. All right. So let's see. And let's talk about really quickly the difference between shy and reserved. So shy, let's start with reserved. Reserved is typically more of a choice. You choose to be quiet. And shy is more, you are quiet because you're nervous because of social situations. And reserved can also be with parties and things like that. Of course, you just don't feel it. It's considered better manners being reserved in Japan. Exactly, right? So being reserved in Japan, I can totally understand, is considered polite. In the United States, it might be seen as like a little bit like maybe somebody's not interested. It can be taken out of context somehow. So I find that kind of interesting. But reserved is more of a choice Yeah. And shy is more of like a character trait. It's more sort of, I'm nervous. I don't want to talk to other people. Yeah. Hello to you, Nabin. Welcome on board. We're on to number 4. You've got, I think that's 7 more words. Then we're on to 5, 6 more words. Okay, let's see. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 6 more words. It's good I'm not teaching you math, right? We would all be in a big pickle. And so when you say that someone is in a pickle, that means you are in trouble. So if I were teaching you math right now, that would be a sad, sad thing. Now, I don't know what's going on with number 5 here. I don't see number 5. That looks like number 6. Maybe number 5 didn't get added. Let's see what this is. Something is strange here. I am not a regular Japanese woman. Okay. So, something is going on with my number 5. I don't know what happened. We'll go back and investigate later. But here's number 6. I will try to find number 5. Number 6 is which of these things might make someone feel nostalgic. And the G in this is a J sound, right? Nostalgic. Which of these things might make someone feel nostalgic? Leah's already got a B for us. A, looking at family photos. B, doing the laundry. Or C, reading the news. Raphael, Kaluna, and KB are all going with A, looking at family photos. Oops, sorry, my little arm thingy here moved. Let me get rid of shy versus reserved. And so, so the majority of you are saying A. So looking at old family photos, nostalgic is feeling happy and a little sad about the past. So it's kind of this bittersweet feeling. So just like bitter, like it's something that does, it's kind of like, ooh, and then sweet, you can have bittersweet, something that is both positive and negative somehow. And bittersweet is a nice word to know for something that is kind of like happy and sad, or some good and bad at the same time. Hey, Gracie, darling, welcome. That's why I never look at old photos, okay? You never look at them. Never look at old photos, okay? And let's see. So what are some things that make you feel nostalgic? So Gracie's saying old photos make her feel nostalgic, so she doesn't look at them. What are some things that make you feel nostalgic? What can you tell me? For me, definitely music makes me feel really nostalgic. It can transport me to 1985, or it can transport me to hanging out with my sister. So lots of things like that. Exactly. Visiting childhood places for sure, right? You go to your old school or a friend's house that you've not seen in a long time and you went there all the time. A, and also C, depending on the news. True. When I hear the news today, I'm nostalgic about the news from the past. Somehow. Seeing a favorite retired athlete or actor perform. Great examples, guys. Seeing my children all grown up. Yes. Yes. I've been cleaning out my all of my junk. This is how I found this hat that I had from 1990, probably 92, 93. So old, but I kept it all of these years. And it made me very nostalgic. I found photos where I was wearing it and I'm like, God, I was young. Made me feel really nostalgic. But like seeing with all this stuff with my kids. So of course, going through old things that you find, old birthday invitations from your kids and all kinds of stuff. We say sweet, sour memory and slightly bitter memory in Japan. So what's the difference, Yuki? Is that kind of the same thing? Watching old favorite movies. Yes. Enging. Not sure what enging is. You look cool. Thank you. I used to think I was cool, but I definitely wasn't. That's for sure. All right, so let's see. All right, let's move on. I'm going to see if I can find number 5. I have one slide that is somehow misnumbered and misworded somehow here. Let's check out and see if that's number 5. Maybe this is number 5. Going through class yearbook. Ooh, that's a good one. Totally. Music of the 70s and 80s makes me feel nostalgic too, for sure. It just transports you right back. Sometimes smells, right? Smells can feel nostalgic. There have been times where there's a certain spice. I have no idea what spice it is, but when I smell it, it reminds me of my grandmother's kitchen. She loved to cook. She was such a good cook. And I'm like, oh my God, it smells like my grandmother's kitchen. So smells can also, for me, old perfume. I'm like, oh, that was my perfume from when I was in the 11th grade or whatever. Yeah. We were at, I think this was in Turkey. We were at an airport, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Somewhere around the world, somewhere that I don't know. And we found like a duty-free shop that had all old perfumes from the 80s. And it was so much fun. Like, most of you are probably not from the 80s, but Drakkar, every guy had to wear this perfume, and just smelling it transported to me like, to like 5 different boyfriends because everyone wore that. Yeah, anyway. First kiss is sweet, sour, okay, and broken up with that person is slightly bitter. And breaking up, okay. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so it looks like our number 5 has popped back on the scene. We're in luck here. And which of these actions is the most altruistic? Altruistic, right? Altruistic. A, charging a friend for a favor. B, complaining about chores. Or C, helping someone without asking anything in return. So which one do you think? Seeing my parents old and weak makes me feel nostalgic. Oh yeah, I can imagine. So we have a lot of people guessing C for nostalgic, altruistic, excuse me. C, helping someone without asking for anything in return. Exactly. So altruistic, caring more about others than yourself. I know for sure we've had this word before. What are some altruistic activities that you can think of? Yeah. So I think we talked a lot about some today where, for example, if you see that somebody has a parking meter and it's about to run out and you pop some change in, but we all live in the modern age where you have an app for that. So that doesn't happen anymore. But it used to. Buying a coffee for someone who's in front of you or behind you, that can be an altruistic activity. You don't expect anything in return. You just do it to be nice. If anybody else would like to add one, you're more than welcome to do so. And if you think of something that you would like to add later on, once this live stream has been saved, or you're watching the replay, then you're more than welcome to add it then to the comments section for sure. Other than that, we will move on to another new vocabulary word. So all of these words are related to the movie. As you see, you don't need to have seen the film in order to participate, and that will be the exact same thing tomorrow with a live stream. But this movie does bring up a lot of really nice points. It's a feel-good topic, I would say. All right, so here we go. Next one, number 7. Which of these situations which of these situations would most likely make someone feel self-conscious? So Yuki, you're saying similar to volunteer. Yeah, kind of in a way. Yeah, but volunteer is more of an action. You're doing something kind, and someone is altruistic. It's not an action. So someone who volunteers is altruistic. I hope that makes sense. I really appreciate this question. It's a great question. Thank you. Teaching young prisoners in jail is altruistic. Exactly, for sure. Okay, sorry, I digress. Thank you, Yuki, for your question. Thank you, Gracie, for your example. And yeah, so self-conscious, spilling food on themselves in public, reading a book alone at home, or C, driving to work. Kaluna's saying C for number 7. For self-conscious. Self-conscious. Any other guesses that you can offer me? KB's got an A. KB, I'm not sure. I'm drawing a blank with who you are exactly. But KB, are you new? Let me know. I'm curious. Am I messing something up? I feel like I should know you. All right. So let's see. Gracie. So KB saying A. Kaluna saying A. Gracie's got a B for me. One more guess, perhaps. Am I going to get another guess? If not, I'll go ahead. Alessia's going with B as well. So self-conscious is more A, spilling food on themselves in public. Self-conscious is when you're worried about how you look or act in front of others. Volunteer, altruist. Yes, yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. I think, yeah. I'm drawing a blank. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me look for the noun. I think you're right, though, Yuki. But before I give you the big old stamp, noun for altruistic. You often don't hear it in a noun form. So you hear it more as if like altruistic is an adjective. I'm looking for the noun. It is the noun form. Altruistic is the noun form. Let's see. Altruist, a person who has an unselfish concern or for welfare, for the welfare of others. Exactly. Altruist, exactly. You're new. Oh, cool. Oh, good, good, good. All right. I'm so excited you joined. Very cool. We'll go live tomorrow at this time as well with a full lesson with idioms and phrasal verbs, more vocabulary, conversation questions, polls, all kinds of stuff in between. So please come back tomorrow. It'd be wonderful to have you here. All right, so let's see. Sorry, I feel like I'm missing something. Your lessons are a real example of altruism. Thank you. Not only because they are free, but also very high quality. That makes me so happy. Oh, you made my day, Michaela. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I try very hard to bring you the best lesson I possibly can. So let's see, fall down the street. Yes, yes. You can be very self-conscious. I have the story from when I was 14, and there's this really cute guy, and I thought I was so like cool. And let me put my cool hat on. So yeah, so here we go. So I didn't have this hat on. This was later, but I thought I was like super cool, and he was checking me out, I thought. And then I realized I had toilet paper stuck to the bottom of my shoe. Not like a little piece. No. Let's do this right. Let's have a huge, long strand of toilet paper, just flying in the breeze back behind me. So yeah, no, that made me very self-conscious. I was embarrassed. I felt self-conscious. Definitely awesome. Wonderful. No pressure. Always happy to have people around, but there's never, ever any pressure. Okay, so let's see here. Yes, self-conscious, we said that. And so do you have any tricks for how to handle feeling self-conscious? So anything that you can do, Michaela, thank you for the great explanation. Glad you got it. Good, Yuki. Yes. So what can you say? Any tricks that you have so that you feel less self-conscious? For me, like I am really actually more of an introvert than an extrovert. Doing these live streams is for me something where I feel really self-conscious. I don't like having attention. I hate birthdays, for example. I hide on my birthday. I never announce when it's my birthday because I don't like the attention. And some people do. Like I see a lot of people, they advertise, and it's not judging, it's just me. I'm very private, actually. So in order to be able to do these kinds of live streams, I have to remove myself from these live streams. I'm here to help. This is not about me. I'm here to try to give quality education for free. It's not about me. So if I can separate something, this is my trick to feel less self-conscious. If I take myself out of the equation, then I can feel less self-conscious. Does anyone else have anything that makes them feel a little trick that they can do so they don't feel so self-conscious? If you like, you're more than welcome to share it. Otherwise, we will slowly but surely continue on. And again, if you're watching this replay, then please feel free to write comments, share your thoughts and opinions. If you do answer the questions, please let me know what you're answering. Sometimes people will just leave A, and I'm like, what do you mean? What question is that? I have no idea what you're talking about. We have 10 things here. So write full sentences. Let me know what you have to say. It's great practice for your English, and we get to know you a little bit better. We notice you're very humble. Oh, that's sweet. Thank you. No, I don't. Sometimes I'm humble. Sometimes I'm not, Trust your self-value. Don't let other people's opinion get to you, especially if it's negative. And I have to say also positive, right? Because I think that happens a lot here on social media. People are really positive sometimes to you. And you're like, really? I don't know. So I think like knowing, Kaluna, I love like trusting your self-value. You know what you're good at. You know what you're not good at. And if someone starts like sprinkling too much sunshine or not enough, then just know yourself. I love that, Kaluna. We all have our flaws. As long as you're not doing something bad or dishonest to people, you're not doing anything wrong. Agreed, 100%. Okay, let's see. We're moving on to question number 8, and a word that I absolutely love. I think it is the fountain of youth. You want to stay young? This one. All right. So which of the following shows someone is curious? Would you say A, ignoring new ideas, B, asking a lot about how something works, or C, asking the same question over and over? What does flaws mean? Thank you, Gracie, for asking. So a flaw is something that is not good about you. It's like maybe it's something about your character. It could be physical appearance. It's something that is not, it's a mistake. It's a synonym for mistake. Yes, I think, but thank you very much for asking. Thanks. All right, Karina's going with B, asking a lot of questions about how something works. Kaluna's going with B. A lot of these, I have to say, are very obvious, but I think that's okay. It's still kind of keeping these things. You're welcome, dear. It's just keeping these words in our active vocabulary. Some of these words we already know. So yes, of course. B is asking lots of questions about how something works, wanting to learn, wanting to know new things. For me, I think this is the fountain of youth. So the water, if you want to drink a cup of youngness, youth, actually youth, not youngness. If you want to stay young, then be curious, my opinion. So my question to you is this: on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is very curious, how curious are you? B, how do you call a person that asks the same question over and over again? So the first, annoying, it's repetitive, annoying. There's a nice little idiom that you can use for that person. They're like a broken record, a record player that skips, it just goes to this, a broken record. So yeah, those repetitive, annoying, and a broken record. If anybody else has anything else they would want to add for Michaela's question, let me pop your question up. Then please feel free to, I am person B, asking a lot of questions. Okay, sorry, Yuki. I ask a lot of questions too. Everyone makes fun of me that my favorite word is why. Why? I ask why like a 3-year-old asks why. I love the question. I want to know why. Tell me why. And everyone's like, don't ask that question. It's just because. No, maybe why. But that's what ChatGPT is good for. It can save relationships because I can ask ChatGPT, Why all the time? So some people are very curious about other people's lives. Yeah, and then that's a negative. That's true. And if someone is really curious about other people's lives, they are nosy, which I think is really fun. Nosy. Let me plop that one up. 10 for me. Yeah, 10 for me too. I'm so curious. Curious. You are too, I think. So I think that's a good thing. We have the same in Italy. Ah, you do. Okay, here we go. Here's my Italian. The roto il disco. All right. Yes. So how curious are you folks? How important is it to you to stay curious? You can even tell me things you're curious about if you like. Again, this can be something you leave in the comments later on. Do young people understand broken records? I don't think so. No. So for us oldies here, they have no idea. They don't know. Unless, although, I think record players are cool again. So maybe they do know. They wouldn't know what record players are. Yeah, they're kind of cool again. You're getting better and better. Really? Oh, look at you, Sue. I'm going to be an Italian speaker. So no, don't encourage it. It's not good. All right, let's see. So moving on to another great vocabulary words. I'm curious if my Italian friends here and my friends with a Latin based language, if this is a word in your language, because it's I can't say it. I'm just giving away the answer, but it sounds very pretty. All right, here we go. Number 9. So, which of these moods best fits melancholy? Okay, so giddy and excited. So giddy's like, oh, you're just so excited. You're kind of like laughing and excited all the time. Sort of laughing. B, calm and reflective, but a little sad. Or C, angry and frustrated. I'm curious, but not too much curious, but not too curious. Sometimes info overwhelms me. I get it. I hear you. All right. So Kaluna's giving me 9B, calm and reflective, but a little sad. All right. Do you have this word in your language? Melancholy. I think it sounds really pretty somehow. Melancholy. Any other guesses? I'm not sure why, but I feel like this word is probably based in, is a Latin-based word. Maybe Greek. I don't know. All right, everyone's going with B, of course. Melancholy is B, calm and reflective, but a little sad. A gentle, quiet kind of sadness. We have the same word in it. Yes, I figured you did. Felt like it. Okay. So everyone's guessing B, exactly. And so my question to you is this. It's similar to nostalgic. Yeah, I think it's a little darker and sadder than nostalgic. Yeah, melancholy is just more, you're just sort of, there's this sadness, this simple sadness. Solemn can be used as, yeah, I love that. Absolutely, solemn as well. But, I'm going to look up the difference before I tell you something crazy. They go in the same direction, for sure. But there is a slight difference. Solemn versus melancholy. Melancholy. Like for me, solemn is more when somebody passes away and you are sad. And melancholy is more just this general feeling of light sadness and deep thinking. Thank you for asking this. So let's get our little bot friend here to give us. Yeah, exactly. So I'm correct. Solemn is more serious and respectful. Someone passes away and you feel more solemn towards, it's a solemn occasion. And melancholy is more sad with and quiet, emotional, personal feelings, a little depressed, exactly. But melancholy is the noun or of the adjective or the adjective. Melancholy is the noun and melancholic is the adjective. He has a melancholic character. He feels melancholy. Yes. And so the question that I have for you is such. Thank you so much, guys, for your questions and your patience with me for double checking. But do you think that some people are born a little melancholic? Do you feel that like that some people just have this something in them where they just see the world differently maybe than other people? I'm curious to hear what you say. Some people, is it something you're born with? Do you feel that it's often something that you kind of learn perhaps through experiences, a combination? What do you have to say about that? And yeah, it's a little depressed, exactly. Melancholy, there's a sadness, but it's not depression. It's just sort of a sadness, usually based on deep thought. I'm not sure if any so totally is a type of personality. Yeah, I think so too. I think so too, Gracie. I think that somehow some people just have this energy about them that is just a little sad. They see the world differently. Yeah. Okay. But I just was curious. Here's a word we had in our lesson. So if you happened to see it, people likely feel melancholy in autumn. Totally. I do. I do. I get a little bit of melancholy. I feel a little melancholic in the autumn. Absolutely. 100%. Very great example. Great example about that with that. All right, last but not least, number 10, here we go. In my opinion, it's through experiences and environment they have. Okay, absolutely. It could be even a combination, right, of different things. So here we go. Last word of the day, vocab word. And like I said, these words we will have again in some form or fashion tomorrow. So we might have a vocab, so you will get to repeat them if they're new. I'm actually curious to see how many of these words were new for you. When you are a lot of times sad, your personality turns melancholic. Definitely. Some people might be born with a melancholic soul. I think so. I somehow do. I know a couple of people who I just feel like, I don't know, they just see life in a different way. And it's not a right, it's not a wrong. It's just, it's the way that they experience things. So, yeah. All right. Our number 10 is as follows. What does the term wallflower usually mean? Is it A, someone who is shy and stays on the sidelines, B, someone who is whimsical, or C, someone who is pretty? So a wallflower, what can you tell me? So Alessio is saying A, Kaluna's going with A. Any other guesses? Wallflower. Yuki's going with A. All right. So we had this word today in our lesson on Iwa because they grew up in a sad family. Yeah, and maybe somehow Gracie too. It can be inherited through experiences through the family, but also perhaps the genetic thing, like it's carried down in a family somehow. It's inherited, maybe. Okay, let's go with it. Everybody's going with A. Someone who is shy and stays on the sidelines. Definitely a wallflower is the person who's at the school dance, doesn't move, please, just like trying to hide. Their parents probably made them go. They would much rather be at home. Yeah. So my last question for you for today is, were you outgoing or a wallflower at school, or were you something different? Which of these words would you say kind of described you? Exactly, Nick, you're correct. Which of these words described you best? Maybe there's something that we learned earlier in high school. Let's go with high school. So not just school, high school as a teenager. I think I was outgoing, but always with this introverted touch, an ambivert. It's a nice vocab word that we've learned recently. Ambivert. Ambivert is when you're both introverted and extroverted, you're an ambivert. I'm totally a wallflower. So you're still today a wallflower. Okay. I'm outgoing, never a wallflower. But if that person doesn't have good looks, can he or she be a wallflower? Yeah. So it's not really talking about the looks of the person. Somebody could be drop dead gorgeous and a wallflower. It's more about the person who doesn't want to stand out, doesn't want to shine, doesn't want to be noticed. It's a person that's a wallflower. Exactly. Thank you, Yuki, for your question. All right. So anybody else want to share what they were like in high school? Were you outgoing? Were you a wallflower? Were you an ambivert? Were you something different? Were you sort of quirky? Let me see other words that we had. Were you self-conscious? I definitely was that, for sure. Until I had kids, I was seriously self-conscious. Were you altruistic? Hello to you, Murat. And unfortunately, our lesson is ending now, but I hope you can catch the replay. But just as a reminder, tomorrow we will go live at 52 minutes earlier from whatever time it is in your country right now, tomorrow here on YouTube. And I will offer you the second part of our topic about the movie Amelie. You don't need to have seen the film. As you see, I will pull you along with me. I have a personality of an introvert, but I'm a yapper to my core group. I love it, Kaluna. I gotta pop this word, your comment here, because I love that. So a yapper is a person who talks a lot. Like you can say this about yourself. I'm such a yapper, meaning like you wouldn't want to call someone else a yapper. That could be rude. They could be, unless you're like good friends and you know each other very well, but you would not want to say to someone, gosh, you're a bit of a yapper. But it's a great vocabulary word. Thank you very much for using it. I am an extroverted and curious person. Super. I'm a wallflower type at a party. I won't join you tomorrow. Oh no, but I'll watch the replay. Good. I look forward to hearing anything that you would like to share, Michaela. Talkative, chatty, exactly. And synonyms for yapper, exactly. Great. And I like the word chatty too. Chatty's good. Yapper. You don't look like you were outgoing. I was pretty outgoing. I was out there. Yep, I was. So anyway, heading on to our goodbyes. Let me pop up my banner here. And so if you've hung around this long and you don't follow my account, I highly recommend you do. You can find it floating down beneath me. And have a wonderful day. I hope you will be able to make it to our live stream tomorrow. Got a lot of great information for you. Social butterfly. Ooh, I like that too. Y'all are coming up with great vocab today. Social butterfly, a yapper, could be, probably. A social butterfly is one who wants to engage with a lot of people, do a lot of things, be around a lot of people. So it's talkative, but also doing things, like being with a lot of people. Lovely vocabulary. Oh, good, Gracie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Take care, Alessio. Take care to everyone. Thank you so much for your time and hope to see you tomorrow. And if not, then I hope to get to read what you have to think about in the comments. Take good care of yourselves and see you tomorrow.